Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss about the cells of the nervous system and the different ways of classifying them. So let's dive right in. In the last video, some of you have asked quite interesting and probing questions, which shows that you have grasped the subject matter pretty well. For this discussion, instead of animating the whole video, I have drawn some diagrams so that you can copy them by pausing the video and reproduce them easily in your exams. The cells of the nervous system is divided into two major classes, neurons and the neuroglial cells, also called as the glial cells. Neuron is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system, whereas neuroglial cells are the supporting cells. The major difference among them is that the neurons are excitable or conducting cells, while neuroglial cells are non-conducting cells. The total number of neurons in humans is about 100 billions, which is roughly equal to the number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. But the glial cells are even more abundant. It is estimated that the number of glial cells are around 1 trillion. Moreover, one single neuron receives information from up to 10,000 other neurons. Each of these neurons is connected to hundreds or thousands of other neurons by means of synapses. These connections are not fixed, that is, they change with experience, allowing us to learn. This is a typical example of a multipolar neuron. The three main parts of the neuron are the cell body or the soma, the axon, and the dendrites. One neuron may have several dendrites, but it will have only one axon. The myelin sheath, the yellow colored sheath that you can see here, is the fatty insulating layer that surrounds the nerve cells. The receptor component of the neuron are the dendrites, which receive information, and the information propagates from the end of the dendrites towards the cell body. On the other hand, an axon is the effector component of the neuronal cell body, that is, it produces effects on the next neuron. Although speed of action potential varies depending upon the structure of the nerve, signals in your neurons can travel at the same speed as a Formula 1 car, which is roughly equal to 100 meters per second or 360 kilometers per hour. Now we are going to discuss about the neuronal conduction and neuronal transmission. When the action potential or electric current is moving on the axon, it is called neuronal conduction. On the other hand, after the action potential is conducted up to the nerve endings, the neuronal endings, as you can see in the diagram, release chemical substances called the neurotransmitters, which alter the electrical activity of the next neuron. This is called neuronal transmission. Neurons can be classified by their structure, function, or by the neurotransmitters that they secrete. We will start with the structural classification. Structurally or anatomically, neurons are classified as unipolar or pseudo-unipolar neurons, bipolar neurons, and multipolar neurons. You can see the unipolar neuron at the top left hand corner. It has got one cell body and just one process. At the center, you can see the pseudo-unipolar neuron. An example of a pseudo-unipolar neuron is the dorsal root ganglion outside the central nervous system. It is called pseudo-unipolar because originally the cell body had two processes, that is axon and dendron, which later fused at the time of its development. You can also see the left yellow box. I have written both axon and dendron as they have been referred differently by different authors. Some authors reason that it should be called dendron since action potential from peripheral sensory receptors are moving towards the cell body, while others say that it should be called an axon, the rationale being that the information is directly going to the central nervous system from peripheral sensory receptors and not from the cell body. This is the frontal view of the central nervous system. You can see the three parts of the brain: forebrain or prosencephalon, midbrain or the mesencephalon, hindbrain or the rhombencephalon, along with the spinal cord. Now let's focus on the pseudo-unipolar neuron. It brings information from the peripheral sensory receptors represented by the red arrow to the central nervous system. This information will be processed in the central nervous system and the motor command will be delivered, represented by the green arrow. This is a bipolar neuron. The diagram is self-explanatory. The information or action potential moves from the dendrite towards the cell body. By the way, dendrite is the synonym of the word dendron. In the axon, the action potential moves away from the cell body. They are typically found in retina and sensory epithelium of the ear. This is an example of a multipolar neuron. They are the most abundant neurons in our body. We have already discussed the various parts of the multipolar neurons. Functionally, neurons are classified as sensory neurons, interneurons, relay neurons or association neurons, and motor neurons. We have already seen that the sensory neurons transmit information from the receptors to CNS, while motor neurons transmit information away from the CNS to the effector cells. Interneurons contain more than 99% of all the neurons. Let the rectangular box represent the central nervous system. Interneurons lie entirely within the central nervous system and function as integrators and signal changers. They integrate afferent and efferent neurons into reflex circuits. Biochemical classification is based on the neurotransmitters released from nerve terminals. Neurotransmitters are chemicals secreted by nerve terminals. All the neurotransmitters are released from their respective nerve endings, as you see in the diagram. After being released, they bind with the receptors situated at the effector. Now the effector will be stimulated for activity. The effector may be smooth muscles for autonomic nervous system, skeletal muscles at the neuromuscular junction, or another neuron in case of a synapse. Different neurons release different chemical substances. According to the neurotransmitters released, neurons are classified. In this table, we see the names of some common neurotransmitters. For example, acetylcholine is secreted by the cholinergic neurons, noradrenaline is secreted by the adrenergic neurons, serotonin is secreted by serotonergic neurons, and so on. As we have discussed earlier, the other group of cells in the nervous system apart from the neurons are the neuroglial cells. These cells help to regulate the extracellular fluid composition, sustain the neurons metabolically, form myelin sheath and the blood-brain barrier, provide immune functions, regulates cerebrospinal fluid, and so on. There are several classes of neuroglial cells. In CNS, for example, there are oligodendrocytes, microglial cells, astrocytes, etc. Whereas in peripheral nervous system, we have the Schwann cells and the satellite cells. Here is a pictorial representation of the different types of the neuroglial cells. If you have any questions or suggestions, I would love to hear from you in the comments section below. That's all for now. Thank you so much for your attention. See you next time.